What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Carbon, and today I'm coming at you with some weapon statistics within Call of Duty Blackout. Now today I am going to be talking about the assault rifles, and I'm also going to throw in the tactical rifles, the AVR-223, the Auger DMR, and the Swordfish. So we're going to compare them all, and we're going to finally settle which is the best assault rifle within Call of Duty Blackout. So guys, take a look at the stats with me, and let me know in the comments, what do you think the best weapon is? Also hit that subscribe button. This took me forever to make, so please hit that subscribe, hit that like, and like I said, leave that comment, let me know what you think the best is, and let's get started.
We show up in the party, flyer than everybody. We show up in the party, flyer than everybody.
We show up in the party, flyer than everybody. We show up in the party, flyer than everybody. We show up in the party, flyer than everybody. We show up in the party.
We show up in the party.
What's up, everybody? Today we are starting with the all-around best gun, in my opinion, the ICR-7. Top of the class assault rifles with an exceptional accuracy, decent fire rate, and best range capabilities in the assault rifle class. The ICR really is a fairly balanced weapon that excels at more distance-based encounters, like I've been saying. So to top it all off, the ICR also has a very low recoil. Unfortunately though, the ICR does have a downfall, as it lacks that much needed punch that other weapons in the class possess, making it the most controversial weapon to be the best weapon. But in my opinion, it is the best weapon. So guys, we're going to go ahead and move on to the stats here. At normal damage to the body, it does 32 damage with 35 damage to the head. It has 600 rounds per minute. It has 10 bullets per second and a magazine size of 35 rounds, and a fire mode of fully automatic and a 0.4 to 0.6 seconds time to kill, and a bullets to kill of 5 to 7 rounds. Now if you were shooting at somebody with damage against somebody with level 1 armor, they would do 22 damage with 5 to 7 bullets to kill and 0.4 to 0.6 seconds time to kill. And if it was against level 2 armor, it would be 19 damage with 5 to 8 rounds to kill and 0.4 to 0.7 seconds to kill. And at level 3 armor, it will do 16 damage, 8 to 11 bullets to kill, and 0.8 to 1.2 seconds. But we can't just do the base range, we also have to do the multiple ranges all the way up to 200. So we're going to take it step by step and go from base range here right into 50 meter range. And there's really not that much of a difference in the assault rifles between base range and 50 meter range. It still does 32 damage to the body and 35 damage to the head, and still does 0.4 to 0.6 seconds time to kill and 5 to 7 bullets to kill, and all the other stats is about the same. Still 22 damage to level 1, 19 to level 2, 16 to level 3, and still the 0.4 all the way up to 1.2 seconds from level 1 to level 2 to level 3 time to kill. So now let's move from 50 meter range over to 100 meter range. Now you'll see it still does 32 body damage and 35 head damage, but now it has a 0.4 to 0.6 time to kill and 5 to 7 bullets to kill, and still does 22 damage to level 1 armor, 19 damage to level 2 armor, and 16 damage to level 3 armor, and everything is still about the same, except bullets to kill is now 9 to 13 for level 3. So let's move to 200 meter range. For the ICR, it now drops to 25 body damage and 27 head damage with 0.5 to 0.7 seconds time to kill and 6 to 8 bullets to kill, and that's just normal health. And then level 1, it'll do 18 damage with 6 to 9 bullets to kill and 0.5 to 0.8 seconds time to kill. For level 2, it'll do 15 damage with 6 to 10 bullets to kill and 0.5 to 9 seconds to kill. And then 12 damage to level 3 armor with 12 to 17 bullets to kill and 1.1 to 1.6 seconds to kill. Now this is an accumulation of stats. Hopefully you can make your decision. Maybe you think the ICR might be the best gun overall, because I sure as heck think it does, especially when you tap fire and you have other things on there, but do keep in mind there are other factors. But we're going to jump right into our next weapon here, and this weapon is also another favorite of mine, and this is the Rampart 17. Now, the Rampart 17, in exchange for dealing significant amounts of damage and recoil, the Rampart foregoes accuracy, range, and even fire rate. So with lackluster stats across the board, the Rampart is definitely a challenging weapon to master. So if you're one that struggles with accuracy and recoil weapons, the Rampart is definitely one that you should avoid. But I currently love it, especially if you tap fire the weapon, which I have been hinting at everybody what you should do with any weapon at long distance. It's just tap, 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 tap fire. But let's jump into the stats. The Rampart does 37 body damage and 40 head damage, and it has 540 rounds per minute at 9 bullets per second. Now the magazine does 30 rounds per magazine and fire mode at fully automatic and a time to kill of 0.3 to 0.6 seconds and bullets to kill 4 to 6 bullets. Now it does 26 damage to level 1 armor, 22 to level 2 armor, and 19 to level 3 armor, and it still has about a 4 to 7 bullets to kill, and at level 3 armor it's about 8 to 11, and it still does a quick 0.3 to about 0.7 seconds for level 2, and then a 0.8 to 1.1 for level 3 armor. Now we can't just look at the base range, we also have to look at the other range like we did with the ICR, so let's go ahead and move on to the 50 meter range. Now the 50 meter range still does 37 body damage, 40 head damage, and still basically all the same stats across the board at 26 damage to level 1 armor, 22 damage to level 2 armor, and 19 damage to level 3 armor, with still about 4 to 7 bullets to kill in that level 1 to level 2 armor range, and 8 to 11 bullets in that level 3. Do keep in mind, this is also including whether they have 150 health or 200 health. But let's go ahead and move on to the 200 meter range, or the 100 meter range, which is a little bit different. The body damage is now at 35 and the head damage is now at 38 with a 0.3 to 0.6 seconds time to kill and 4 to 6 rounds to kill. So it'll now do 25 damage to level 1 armor, 21 damage to level 2 armor, and 17 damage to level 3 armor, and it'll still have about 4 to 8 bullets depending on the armor, and 8 to 12 at level 3 armor, and still about 0.3 to 0.8 seconds depending on your accuracy and where you're hitting them at, and then 0.8 to 1.2 seconds for level 3 armor, because as we all know, level 3 armor is nasty when you have it, and it sucks when you're shooting at it. So let's move on to the 200 meter range. It now does 31 damage to the body and 34 damage to the head, and it has a 0.4 to 0.7 seconds time to kill and a 5 to 7 bullets to kill. Now for level 1 armor it'll do 22 damage, for level 2 armor it'll do 19 damage, and for level 3 armor it'll do 15 damage per bullet. Now this is 5 to 7 bullets to kill for level 1 armor, 5 to 8 bullets to kill level 2 armor, and 9 to 14 bullets to kill level 3 armor, so much more than the ICR, kinda. But the time to kill is 0.4 to about 0.8 seconds depending on level 1 or level 2 armor, and then 0.9 to 1.4 seconds if you're going against Behemoth at level 3 armor. Because again, man, I wish they would still fix level 3 armor. I think it is still way too overpowered, but that's just my opinion. Let's go ahead and jump into the next weapon here, which is a beast across any Call of Duty if you really have played the games, and that is the KN57. Now, dealing just slightly lower damage than the Rampart 17, the KN57 bests the Rampart in every other way. With controllable recoil, decent damage, and accuracy stats, the AK-47 style rifle is great in almost all situations. So when it comes to an all-around great assault weapon, there is no denying that the KN57 is a perfect weapon for all skill levels. When paired with a complete loadout of attachments, the KN57 is definitely one of those most reliable assault rifles to pick from. Kind of like in real life, the AK is really reliable. But let's jump into the stats. To start with the base range, it does 37 body damage and 40 head damage, and it has 600 rounds per minute with 10 bullets per second, and a magazine size of 35 rounds, and a fire mode of fully automatic, and a time to kill of 0.3 to 0.5 seconds, and a bullets to kill of 4 to 6 bullets. Now for level 1 armor it'll do 26 damage, for level 2 armor it'll do 22 damage, and for level 3 it'll do 19 damage, and it's still about 4 to 7 bullets to kill in that level 1 to 2 armor, and then 8 to 11 for level 3, and still about 0.3 to 0.6 seconds for level 1 to level 2, and 0.7 to about 1 second for level 3 armor. But let's move on from the base range to the 50 meter range. Now it still has basically all the same stats, so 37 body damage, 40 head damage. Basically it's just a great weapon for both medium range, short range, long range. Like, it's really good especially if you get down that tap fire, and you also get down the recoil. It's just an absolute monster, especially if you test the grips on it. It is just crazy. But let's go ahead and move on to our next weapon here. I'm at range, so we're going to go ahead and go to the 100 meter range, and that now is at 34 body damage and 37 head damage with 0.4 time to kill and 5 to 6 bullets to kill, and 24 level 1 damage, 21 level 2 damage, and 17 level 3 damage with 5 to 7 bullets to kill and 5 to 8 bullets to kill, and then 8 to 12 bullets to kill on level 3 armor. So it's still that 5 to 8 normal, and then time to kill is still 0.4 to 0.7 normal, or the 0.7 to 1.1 second to kill on level 3. But let's go ahead and move from the 100 meter range, which is a fair range, to an even longer range, the 200 meter range, where things get a little bit different. You can now see the body damage is now 29 and the head damage is 31 with 0.4 to 0.6 seconds to kill and 5 to 7 bullets to kill, and it's now 21 level 1 damage, 18 level 2 damage, 14 level 3 damage, and 5 to 8 bullets to kill for level 1, and 5 to 9 bullets to kill for level 2, and then 10 to 15 bullets to kill for level 3. So still that 5 to 9 for normal gunfights, and 0.4 to 0.8 seconds in normal gunfights for time to kill, with 0.9 to 1.4 seconds with people that have level 3 armor. So the KN still overall is a great weapon at long range, short range, medium range, and overall I would recommend it to anybody if they're playing multiplayer or Blackout. I can't really say anything about zombies. I really don't play zombies enough, but let's go ahead and move into our next weapon here. And I wouldn't say this one is a bad weapon, but it's definitely not one that I use a lot, and that is the Vapr. The Vapr is kind of like the ICR, but worse. It has a definite higher recoil rate. It does a little bit less damage than I would normally like in a weapon, and overall it just feels lunky. It just feels more like a BB gun than anything else. But you know, you'll have to really take a look at the stats to really make your own judgment, because I don't know if it's just me, but this gun just doesn't feel right when I use it. I hate the iron sights. I hate when it looks like with sights. But let's go ahead and take a little bit of looks at the stats here, starting at the base range. So it does 32 body damage and 35 head damage, has 660 rounds per minute, and does 11 bullets per second with a magazine size of 35 rounds, and is fully automatic. It has a time to kill of 0.3 to 0.6 seconds time to kill, and 5 to 7 bullets to kill. Now it does 22 damage to level 1 armor. That's not a lot. 19 damage to level 2 armor and 16 damage to level 3 armor. And your normal fights are going to be about 5 to 8 rounds to kill somebody, and then 0.3 to about 0.7 seconds time to kill, or 9 to 13 bullets to kill somebody with level 3 armor, and 0.7 to 1.1 seconds on that level 3 armor. That level 3 armor is no joke, and that's actually how you can judge most of these shots. But like I said, this is just the base range, so in order to get a really good judgment, Blackout has longer and longer ranges than normal multiplayer. So we're going to go ahead and look from these stats and change them over to the 50 meter range stats, and as you can see, there's not much of a difference. It's, you know, 0.4 to 0.6 seconds time to kill, 5 to 7 bullets to kill normal. It's about 9 to 13 bullets to kill somebody with level 3 armor. Like, everything is still the same. It still does that 22 level 1 damage, 19 level 2 damage, and 16 level 3 damage. So if everything's still the same here, what happens when we go from 50 meter range and look at the difference to 100 meter range? Everything's basically the same still. Now there's a 0.4 to 0.6 seconds time to kill and 5 to 7 around bullets to kill. So it's still an AR, so it's still going to have, you know, about the same range between, you know, all the way to 100 meters. Now the difference comes in the 200 meters. Now this will now do 27 body damage and 29 head damage, and with 0.5 to 0.7 seconds time to kill and 6 to 8 bullets to kill. Now for level 1 armor, it'll do 19 damage. For level 2 armor, it'll only do 17 damage, and for level 3 armor, it'll only do 13 damage, and your normal fights will be about 6 to 9 bullets for that level 1 and level 2 armors, and then 11 to 16 bullets for level 3. That's a lot. And then 0.5 to 0.8 seconds is going to be about your normal time to kill for level 1 and level 2, but level 3 armor is 0.9 to 1.4 seconds, so still about the same as the other assault rifles. But this is the absolute longest, you know, range for stats that we have right now, but in my opinion, the Vapr just doesn't cut it. So let's move into our next weapon here. And now this one, to me, is a pretty good contender to be a short range weapon more than it is a long range weapon. Now with the high rate of fire and minimal recoil and extended magazine that tops the class, Maddox RFB is an all-around great balanced assault rifle. So having the ability to destroy your opponents, you know, is thanks to its high rate of fire. And the Maddox RFB is an ideal choice for any newcomers or veterans that are looking for a reliable weapon, and is not that easy to use, but also easy to master. So let's go ahead and look at the stats, and we are going to start with the base range statistics. Now you're going to see a 27 body damage with a 27 head damage with 720 rounds per minute with 12 bullets per second and a magazine size of 40 rounds and a fire mode of fully automatic, and with a time to kill of about 0.4 to 0.6 seconds with 6 to 8 bullets to kill on average for somebody with no armor. So somebody with level 1 armor, it'll do 19 damage. At level 2 armor, it'll do 16 damage, and level 3, it'll do 14 damage. Now, your normal time to kill is going to be about 0.4 to 0.8 seconds with this gun, with level 1 to level 2, but with level 3, it's going to take a little over a second to kill somebody, and it's going to take 10 to 15 rounds for level 3 armor. But only 6 to about 10 bullets for your normal fight, depending on your accuracy and the health of the other opponent. But this is just the base range, so let's go ahead and take a look at the difference between the base range and the 50-meter range. As you can see, everything seems about the same, and everything really is. It's still 27 body damage, 29 head damage with 19 to level 1, 16 to level 2, and 14 to level 3 armor, with still that high time to kill and a lot of bullets to kill. So let's compare the 50-meter with the 100-meter. As you can see, there's a little bit of a difference there. It's doing 26 body damage and 28 head damage, and against your level 1 armor it's going to do 19 damage, and level 2 armor it's going to do 16 damage, and level 3 armor it's only going to do 13 damage, and now it's going to take 11 to 16 bullets at that 100-meter range for bullets to kill, and 0.8 to 1.3 seconds time to kill. So let's take a look between the long distance of 100 meters and 200 meters. Now, as you can see, there's a difference. So there's now a 23 damage to the body and a 25 damage to the head, with 0.4 to 0.7 seconds time to kill and 6 to 9 bullets to kill on average. So 17 damage to level 1 armor, 14 damage to level 2 armor, and 11 to level 3 armor, with, like I said, your average is going to be about 6 to 9 bullets for your level 1, 6 to 11 bullets for your level 2, and 13 to 19 for your level 3. Now that's a lot. And then your time to kill is going to be about 0.4 to 0.8 seconds in your normal fights, and then 1 to 1.5 seconds for your longer distance fights, all the way at the 200 meters. And like I said, the Maddox is a great weapon for close range, but as far as long range, I don't really recommend it, but that is your opinion. So let's go ahead and move on to our next weapon. And again, this one is not one of my absolute favorites, but it is absolutely growing on me. The more I use it, the more I like it, but I know the stats aren't exactly amazing. In most situations, I wish I had a different weapon. But beating out the Rampart 17, it does have the highest damage rate in the assault rifle category. And unfortunately, though, it comes to range and accuracy, SWAT, you know, it really falls flat. While the stats aren't exactly terrible, they do limit the overall effectiveness of the weapon, rendering it only useful in close quarter situations. And when paired with a complete loadout of the attachments, it really does become the best, you know, go-to assault rifle. So let's go jump right into the stats, starting at the base range, just like we have for the other weapons. Now, as you can see here, there is a 36 body damage, a 38 head damage with 660 rounds per minute and 11 bullets per second, and a magazine size of 35 rounds, and a fire mode of fully automatic with 0.3 to 0.5 seconds time to kill, and about 4 to 6 bullets for somebody that has no armor. But it will do 25 damage to level 1, 22 damage to level 2 armor, 18 to level 3 armor, and your normal bullets are going to be about 4 to 7 bullets in your level 1 and level 2, and then 0.3 to 0.6 seconds in your normal fights, and then 8 to 12 bullets for level 3 armor, and 0.6 seconds to 1 second for your time to kill. And this is only your base range. So let's go ahead and take a look at the differences between the base range and the 50-meter range. So as you can see, there's really no difference. It's still doing 36 body damage, 38 head damage, 0.3 seconds time, 0.3 to 0.5 time, seconds to kill, and then your bullets to kill is still 4 to 6, 4 to 7 depending on who you're going against, or 8 to 12 bullets against level 3 armor. Isn't that crazy? But even at 50 meters, it's still doing 25 damage to level 1, 22 to level 2, 18 to level 3. Your normal fights are going to be between 0.3 and 0.6 seconds, and your level 3 is still going to be about 0.6 to 0.8 seconds. So the SWAT, you know, it's still not very great in your short range, but it is something that you can, you know, maybe pick up for your longer range, depending on your accuracy and, you know, your love of the weapon, really. I'm trying to sell it to you, but it's really hard to, because this weapon isn't exactly great. It just looks great, and the fact that it's new makes you want to use it more. So let's look between 50 and 100, and there's the difference. It's now doing 34 body damage, 37 head damage, with 0.3 to 0.5 seconds time to kill for somebody with no armor, and 5 to 6 bullets, you know, to kill somebody. And then level 1 it'll do 24, level 2 it'll do 21, and then level 3 it'll do 17 damage. And then your normal fights are going to be about 5 to 8 bullets depending on, you know, level 1 or level 2, and then 8 to 12 bullets for that level 3 armor, and then anywhere between 0.4 and 0.7 seconds for your normal engagements, you know, time to kill on this, and then 0.7 to 1 second time for just that 100 meter level 3 armor. Now that is pretty good still at 100 meters, in a way, but in order to really test it, you really have to look at the longer range. So to test the difference, let's really look at the 100 meter range right here against the 200 meter range right here, and you can see the difference is now 28 body damage and 30 head damage, with about 0.4 to 0.7 seconds time to kill and 5 to 8 bullets with somebody with no armor. And then 20 damage to level 1 armor, 17 damage to level 2 armor, 14 damage to level 3 armor with 5 to 7 bullets to kill for level 1 armor, and 5 to 9 bullets to go for level 2. So still between 5 and 9 for your average engagements, but that level 3 armor is going to bring 10 to 15 bullets, and then your time to kill is still going to be between 0.4 and 0.7 seconds time to kill, and the overall time to kill for level 3 armor is going to be 0.8 to 1.3 seconds. But also take a look at that, 10 to 15 bullets to kill somebody with level 3 armor. Not too bad at 200 meters considering some other guns got to 16 rounds, but let's go ahead and take a look at the next weapon here. And this overall I would not say is a assault rifle, but I would still in the rifle category as I'm concerned, and that is the Auger DMR. Now the Auger DMR is a semi-automatic tactical rifle, and you know, it just isn't extremely powerful, but it's also very accurate, and it can even double a substitute as a sniper rifle simply due to its sheer power, with it's only requiring 3 to 4 shots to kill an opponent. But unfortunately it does suffer from its slow fire rate, you know, which can be a pretty big deterrent for many players, while ultimately it depends on the map and mode you have selected. So the Auger DMR has the potential to be very lethal when placed in the right hands in the right situation, so right time, right place. But let's go ahead and look at the statistics, starting with the base range. And as you can see here, it does body damage at 62 body damage. That's crazy. And then head damage at 67 damage. It has 360 rounds per minute at 6 bullets per second. It has a magazine size of 20 rounds. It is a semi-automatic fire mode with 0.3 to 0.5 seconds time to kill and bullets to kill 3 to 4. So that's kind of why I'm putting in the assault rifle, because it still has the same about bullets to kill almost, but definitely the same time to kill. So it does 43 damage to level 1 armor, 37 damage to level 2 armor, and 31 damage to level 3 armor. And your average you gave is going to be about 3 to 5 bullets to kill somebody and 5 to 7 against level 3. And then 0.3 to 0.7 seconds time to kill with 0.7 to 1 second time to kill on level 3 armor. But again, just like we have to talk about, this is just the base range, but we want to get those longer engagements, and since this can be kind of like a sniper rifle, let's move up to the 50 meter range. And as you can see, the power still stands with even the 50 meter range. It's still at 43 level 1, 37 level 2, and 31 level 3. So let's compare 50 meters to 100 meters. Everything seems to be the same still. 62 body, 67 head, 43 level 1, 37 level 2, and 31 level 3. So let's compare it to 200 meters. And that's where some stuff changes. So it has body damage at 55 and head damage at 60 with 39 level 1 damage, 33 level 2 damage, and 27 level 3 damage. Still 0.3 to 0.7 seconds time to kill with 1.2 seconds on level 3 armor, but only 5 to 8 bullets on that level 3 armor. And that's why it makes it kind of a monster, but kind of not. It's that rate of fire that kind of stinks. But let's move on to the next weapon. And that is, of course, the AVR, the controversial best weapon inside of Blackout. Now for me, I like it, I don't like it, really. I don't like it for the close range engagements, and I think that your AR should always be a somewhat short range and long range weapon, and the ABR 223 definitely shares many AR qualities, especially given its ease of use and rather impressive fire rate. So when paired with the correct attachments, there is no denying that the ABR 223 definitely has the capabilities of being a rather devastating weapon. So while the rifle does have its flaws, it's important to not give it up, just yet, and definitely has, a promising future, as they say. So let's go ahead and look at the stats for this weapon, because that's where everything is going to come down to, what is the best overall weapon in the game. And most people say ABR, but I don't, so let's look at the stats. Base range has a 38 body damage and a 41 head damage. 540 rounds per minute, 9 bullets per second, a 30-round magazine, and it is a 3-round burst with 0.3 seconds time to kill, and a 4 to 6 bullets to kill on your average person with no armor. So your level 1 will do 27 damage with 4 to 6 bullets to kill and 0.3 seconds. Your level 2 armor will do 23 damage, 4 to 7 bullets with 0.3 to 0.7 seconds time to kill, and level 3 armor will only do 19 damage with 8 to 11 rounds to kill and 0.7 to 1 second. So again, it's not a lot of damage considering the fact that it is an assault rifle per se, but it is so limited on its rate of fire, and its time to kill is pretty neat, but everything just kind of takes place. And its 50 meter stats here are no different from the base range, so it's still carrying its power all the way up to the 50 meter range. So let's go ahead and compare 50 meters now to 100 meters, and that's where you're going to see a little bit of a difference. It's doing a 37 body damage and a 40 head damage with 26 damage to level 1, 23 damage to level 2 armor, and 18 damage to level 3 armor, with your average fight with 4 to 7 bullets. And then your level 3 armor is going to have 8 to 12 bullets to kill, and then 0.3 still seconds for level 1, 0.3 to 0.7 seconds for level 2, and then 0.7 to 1 second for your level 3 armor. So it still carries its somewhat power from level 1 or 100 meter range. Now compare it to the 200 meter range, and that's where you're going to see a little bit of a dip. It now does 33 damage to the body with 36 damage to the head, and it's going to do about 0.3 to 0.7 seconds kill time, and then 5 to 7 seconds bullet to kill. And now it's going to do 24 damage to level 1 armor, 20 damage to level 2 armor, and only 16 damage to level 3 armor. And then it takes 9 to 13 rounds on level 9 to 30, or on level 3, 9 to 13 rounds. That's crazy. And then 0.7 to 1.3 seconds on level 3 armor. And then your average fight is going to take 5 to 8 bullets, and your time to kill is going to be about 0.3 to 0.8 seconds. So let's go ahead and move on to the next weapon here, and that is the Swordfish, the all-around hated weapon. And I can see why. It's not very pretty, it doesn't shoot very fast, it's a little weird, it's got a weird name called the Swordfish. Like, just like the Auger DMR, the Swordfish is amongst one of the best weapons in the game when used correctly. And that's the key word. So when the ability to turn the weapon into a full automatic by simply tapping the trigger button fast enough, the Pentaburst operator mod attached, the Swordfish not only excels in accuracy, but is also ideal for those mid to long range encounters. But for those really long range encounters, when you fire bullets, more than likely only one of them is going to hit. But let's go ahead and take a look at the stats and see if it really is one of the worst weapons in the game, and one of the last that we are looking at tonight. So it does 34 body damage, 37 head damage with 720 rounds per minute and 12 bullets per second, with a 36 round magazine size, and it is a 4-round burst fire mode. And it has a 0.3 second time to kill, kind of like the ABR, and a 5 to 6 bullet to kill. So against level 1 armor, it'll do 24 damage with 5 to 7 bullets to kill at 0.3 seconds. And then level 2 armor will do 20 damage with 5 to 8 rounds at 0.3 seconds still. And then level 3 armor will do 17 damage with 8 to 12 bullets at 0.3 to 1 second. And this is just the base range. So as you see, it's still just holding that 0.3 seconds if you're landing all the shots from level 1 to level 2 armor at just the base range. So that's pretty good considering this is the worst, or quote unquote worst gun in Blackout. But let's go ahead and look at the next range of stats to 50 meter range, and you're going to see quite a big dip compared to what you see in most assault rifles. So now the body damage is only at 26 and the head is at 28, and your time to kill is still around 0.3 seconds with 6 to 8 bullets for somebody with no armor. So it'll do 18 damage to level 1, 16 damage to level 2, and only 13 damage to level 3 armor. Your average fight's going to take between 6 to 10 bullets, with 11 to 16 bullets needed for level 3 armor, and 0.3 to 0.7 seconds to 0.3 to 0.7 seconds, so the exact same for level 1 and level 2, so still carrying over from the base range to 50 meter range at 0.7 to 1 second for that level 3 armor. But again, this is a weapon that we're putting in the assault rifle class, so we have to see what the stats look like at a longer distance. So let's go ahead and compare between the medium range of 50 meters to a little bit longer range of 100 meters. And as you can see, there's a little bit more of a difference. Again, it's doing 24 body damage and 26 head damage with 17 level 1 damage, 15 level 2 damage, and then 12 level 3 damage. That's crazy, with still 12 to 17 bullets against level 3 armor and 0.7 to 1.3 seconds time to kill against level 3 armor. So still about the same as the 50 meters, but let's compare 100 meters to 200 meters, and you're going to see a dip in basically everything. So 22 body damage, 24 head damage, and then you're going to have 16 damage against level 1 armor, 14 damage against level 2 armor, and 11 damage against level 3 armor, with 7 to 11 rounds in your average fight, with 13 to 19 bullets to kill for level 3 armor. And then your average fight is going to be about 0.3 to 0.7 seconds, and then level 3 armor is going to take you a second to 1.3 seconds to get that time to kill. Now again, these are just all of the assault rifles, or quote, somewhat said assault rifles. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, guys. Make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, tell me what you think your favorite assault rifle is in Blackout, and I will get started on working on the shotguns, the pistols, the SMGs, and all the other fun stuff. So guys, please leave that like, please leave a subscribe, and until next time, peace.